Hi guys, I'm Soumya. For those of you who are coming back to my channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are watching me for the first time, please subscribe to my channel. I'm Soumya and I make random videos. Yes, that's what I do. So today I've come to give you a few tips about studying in Australia, or those of you who are planning to come to Australia, especially Indians, because I'm Indian and I came to Australia to pursue my education. And yep, we'll discuss a few tips that I have for you guys. Okay, so tip number one for you is to choose the location very wisely. What I mean by this is that when you apply to universities, you can actually research them online and get to know what their world ranking is, on what position they are in Australia itself, and also the region the university is located in is very important. And why is that? Okay, so if you are planning to stay back after you're done with your education, firstly, you get to stay back for at least 2 years once you're done with your education, especially if you're here for a master's program. And the visa they put you on is called a temporary residency visa, and that's subclass 485, which is the visa that I am on currently. But I've also applied for my permanent residency, so hopefully I get it, fingers crossed. So if you choose to study in a regional area, you basically get extra points because you studied in a regional area. Now you can simply Google regional areas in Australia and you'll get the list of what all states are considered to be regional in Australia. Canberra comes under regional now. It wasn't before when I was studying, but recently, I think in November 2019, it was declared a regional area again. So I got a few extra points for that as well. Secondly, there's this list that Australia updates every year, and that list contains all the occupations and the courses that you study as open or as closed occupations or skills. Meaning that if I did a master's in engineering course, my major was in digital systems and telecommunications, I was eligible to apply a permanent residency as a professional engineer, a telecommunications engineer, or an engineering technologist. So, and I was getting extra points for it. Had I, say for instance, done say a master's in hospitality, it is a closed occupation now in the recent list, which means that I could still apply for a PR, but I wouldn't have gotten the extra points needed to be actually eligible to apply for a PR. I don't know if this is making any sense for you or not, but it's just something to consider when you are applying for universities in Australia. So consider the fact that the university has to be amongst the top universities in Australia and also have a good ranking and reputation in the world. And secondly, consider studying in a regional area because that always gives you leverage when you go for a permanent residency, especially the state-sponsored residency, which is subclass 190 and not 189 visa. 189 visa is actually a visa that is valid for all of Australia, but the visas that I'm talking about are the 190 visas. And I know it is a bit perplexing, but if you do want to know a bit more about the visa that I have applied for, or the visa that I was on before, or the visa that I'm currently on, comment down below and I'll make another video on it. The second tip is to be prepared to work your hardest. Now see, you are basically starting fresh. You have a clean slate now. Whatever you did, however well you performed back in your academics only mattered until you actually came here. So once you're here, you have to keep in mind that you are starting fresh and you need to be ready to learn literally everything and work literally your hardest, because firstly, it's a new accent. I know if you are coming here to study in Australia, you will be well versed with your English, so that shouldn't be a problem for you, but the accent might be a problem for you. It just hits you all of a sudden, that even though you are well versed with the English language, you are not accustomed to listening to the accent that they have. So prepare yourself. And secondly, when you come here, everything's new. The education patterns new, the way they teach you things is new. Everything's more application specific. Like, they teach you and test you on how you apply the knowledge. It's very different, so you'll have to actually work so hard. My third tip for you would be on track with your homework, your assignment, your lectures, your pre-lectures, everything. Firstly, when you come to a new country, you are unsupervised. It's very easy for you to get diverted. Maybe not focus on your studies as much, maybe focus on other things. Say for instance, wasting your entire day watching YouTube because there's nobody to ask you to sit and study and prepare your lectures. Nobody is going to ask you to attend your lectures. Nobody is going to ask you to finish your assignments on time. Trust me, nobody cares. So you'll have to tell yourself repeatedly that you need to stay focused, and you've spent a lot of money to come here. Before you go for any lectures, go through the pre-lecture material. Every lecturer uploads a pre-lecture slide before the lecture. So just go through the pre-lecture slide, prepare a few notes, and then when you're actually attending the lecture, it just makes you more confident because you know what they're teaching you, and then it automatically puts a good impression on the teacher. No matter how professional they act, they do care about whoever is active in the class and whoever's not being active at all. And that indirectly does affect your grades. So be attentive, prepare well, and try and plan the assignments. They usually release the assignments 1 month or 1.5 months prior, depending on the weightage of the assignment or how difficult the assignment is supposed to be. So plan it out and conduct meetings if it's a group assignment, as many meetings as you can, and always be in touch with the lecturer and keep updating the lecturer about your progress, or if you're experiencing any difficulties in regards with your assignments, always make sure that you tell them. Communication is the key here. If you are afraid to actually contact the lecturer, then just email them, but always maintain a constant communication between you and your lecturer. My fourth tip for you would be to be as extrovert as possible. Firstly, my biggest mistake ever, I missed the orientation week. I didn't take it very seriously and I just missed it, and that was such a big mistake, guys. Never ever miss your orientation week. Never miss it. Just don't miss it, because it is so important for you to get acquainted with the university. There'll be people in your orientation who will actually guide you about everything: how to tackle stress, how to prepare yourself, how to operate the university's website, where you can find your university ID and your password, how to sign up, where to get your student card made. And it is very, very important that you attend it so you make new friends. As you are going to be a new kid in the university, similarly, there'll be other kids who'll be new to the university as well and attending the orientation week. So it just makes you and other people be on the same level and sort of connect and be friends. And don't be afraid to ask questions. You can ask questions to strangers here. Since I don't understand how to cross the road, I would go up to a stranger, I would put up a smiley face and just ask them, listen, how are you supposed to cross the road? I'm new here and I do not know the rules of the country. And they would be so polite and so happy to help you. You won't even believe how good people are here. My fifth tip would be to sort out your accommodation before you come here. And Canberra can be very hard to find accommodation sometimes because the rents in Canberra are very, very high. So you'll have to, there's a lot of negotiation involved, there's a lot of inspection involved, and you just need to, be very aware, be very vigilant when you're looking for accommodations. So I would suggest, as soon as you get your invite and as soon as you make up your mind that, this is the university I'm going to and this is the place that I'm going to. Once you've started your visa process, simultaneously also start looking for places. It's allhomes.com and flatmates.com. You can also refer to Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, and if everything fails, if you just cannot find accommodation on your own or you're having a hard time doing it, then just contact the university. Call them and ask them to find an accommodation for you. You need to be aware of scams. My sixth tip would be to not just mingle with the people of your own country. What I mean to say by this is that when you're here, when you're in Australia, you need to get accustomed to the Aussie culture as soon as you can. And that's especially if you're planning on staying back and you are planning a career here in Australia. What this will do for you is that it'll make you more aware of the culture, and it'll help you when you go for, say for instance, a graduate role or a job. Do not just focus on mingling with the people of your own country, but also be friendly in general. I say join as many university groups as you can handle, and that'll give you the opportunity of knowing more people from the country and from other countries as well. It'll give you a perspective of how people are in different countries, in different parts of the world. My seventh tip would be to volunteer or to work right from the point that you've started your education here in Australia. Some people might contest it and might not concur, but this is what I believe. So it's very easy for you to get a job, say for instance in the hospitality industry. So go out, get a job. What it'll do for you is it'll firstly look good on your resume, because if you've graduated, when you go for, say, a graduate role, it makes the recruiters realize that you can handle stress. If you have handled a full-time course, done well, have good grades on your transcript, and you've also managed to work part-time along with the full-time course, it gives them the impression that you automatically have excellent time management skills, excellent planning skills, immaculate management skills, and it just gives you a leverage over the people who did not pursue any jobs while they were studying and only focused on their university. You shouldn't think that if you are going to work along with the university, then your grades will suffer. You just need to maintain the right balance. You just don't need to get carried away. Make the university your priority and keep the work secondary. The work is only there to pay your bills and for you to sustain while you're studying. I first started, I was earning around $26 an hour, which is, I reckon, fair enough, as when I had started initially, I was barely doing 10-12 hours a week, which was enough to pay my rent and for me to buy food. As a student, you're only allowed to work 20 hours a week anyways, so you cannot exceed that amount. And that is why I say that before you come here, do not think that you'll be able to manage a full-time course and also pay the fee of that course while working. So like I've said before, you need to just strike the right balance and keep in mind that university has to be your first priority, because if you've performed well in your university, only then you're getting a good job later and earning a lot of money. Those were a few tips that I had for you guys. If some of you are planning to come to Australia to study, do take my tips into consideration. The reason that I'm saying this is because I have lived that life already. I have been through it, been there, crossed that bridge sort of thing, and I am only sharing the experiences that I had. I'll see you in the next video. very soon, hopefully. If you have any suggestions, then put them down on the comment box. Subscribe to my channel and hit like if you liked my video, and hit dislike and comment down below with the feedback that you might have if you